Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews. This is our Raw review, and I know what you're thinking. Hey, Boise, what's going on? Why is it late? Why is it a day late? Well, the reason is, it's coming home. That's why. So we started off the show with Roman Reigns kicking it all off, and let's be honest, it's a typical Roman Reigns promo. I lost, it's not my fault, it's my tag team partner's fault. Boo friggin' who? Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre come out, brilliant. They call out Roman saying, look, it's your fault. They get into a brawl, they beat the crap out of him. Seth Rollins comes out, Seth says he's Shield brother, and obviously they go backstage after the segment ends and says to Kurt Angle, we want a match against those two. And then Kurt goes, hold on Roman, you are already in a match tonight, in a tag team match with the Revival, and you're teaming up with Bobby Lashley because of what happened last week. Roman's like, no, I want this match. And then Kurt, obviously, who has no backbone anymore, says, okay, that's fine, you can be in 2 matches tonight. Yay. Altogether, this opening segment was very heavy on Roman Reigns, and if you're not a Roman Reigns fan, obviously you're going to get very annoyed. The best parts about it was obviously Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre pretty much being good heels and stating quite a lot of truths, yet being heelish at the same time, and Seth Rollins just being Seth friggin' Rollins right now. So I'm going to give this opening segment a 5 out of 10. It's nothing we haven't seen before, but just be prepared for a very heavy Roman Reigns episode. Next up, we did have a singles match where we saw Woken Matt Hardy taking on Curtis Axel. Now, again, this rumours has it was supposed to be Bray Wyatt taking on Bo Dallas in this match, but unfortunately, Bray was injured during the weekend and he could not perform. This was, according to the newspapers, he was injured in a car accident. Get well soon, Bray. Hopefully you'll be well and ready for Extreme Rules. But yeah, this was a lot longer match than what we got last week. Again, we're getting you'll see a very much a pattern here again, where we're seeing matches which we saw last week again on this episode of Raw. So for me, it was decent. It was a lot longer, and that's great to see. But again, it makes sense on the results. Curtis Axel wins again, pretty much over Woken Matt Hardy. Again, it seems like it is a fluke win, but momentum is on the B team side right now. For me, making it a bit longer doesn't really change much. The results are exactly the same, and you do have Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel doing the mimic of the Deleter of Worlds entrance, which is quite funny. I'm going to give this a solid 5 out of 10. It's okay. It's doing what it needs to do to help the B team. Next up, we're going to look at Bayley and Sasha Banks going to counselling. That's right. Now, this was taking part during the night at different segments, but I'm going to just pop it right here and do it all as one, because it looks like it's going to continue for the next couple of weeks. God help me. And you know what that means. If WWE ever sent any of their wrestlers to counselling, Dr. Shelby is back. Yes, Shelby is back, and he's trying to show them the friendship zone or whatever it was called. Who cares? And they allowed Bayley and Sasha Banks to mimic what they think each other represents, and that's great. I like that. It was really good. Certain bits were very, very annoying in the least, and seeing Dr. Shelby shouting at both of them to shut up was quite entertaining. But this is very much a similar thing with what we had with Daniel Bryan and Kane. So for me, I've got, it's only the first part of this. It's going to continue next week and probably the week after. So for me, I'm not going to give it a score, but once it's finally finished, I will give it a final score at the end of all these Shelby counselling segments. Next up, we had Titus Worldwide versus the Authors of Pain. Now, this is from what happened last week when the Authors of Pain absolutely destroyed a jobber team, and after they won the match, continued beating the crap out of them. Titus Worldwide came out to save them, and now Titus Worldwide are feuding with the Authors of Pain. Very simple, very basic storytelling from WWE. The match itself was pretty much exactly what you would expect. The newer, more scarier team destroyed Titus Worldwide. Of course they did. Authors of Pain are legitimately should be up in the title reigns at some point on Raw, but it's fine. It gives them good momentum, and you know they're taking on a team who are, you know, well-rounded, and they are kind of a good development team to fight against. They're not too low down on the rankings for the tag team division, but they're not too high up, so it doesn't look too bad for the Authors of Pain. The match itself was quick and simple, so for me, another 5 out of 10. It was very simple. It was basics this week for Raw, in my opinion. This moves us on to the first of 2 Roman Reigns tag team matches, where we saw him teaming up with his best buddy Seth Rollins to take on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I've got to give the match all the credit in the world, because yes, Roman was heavily involved in this match, but Dolph and Seth and McIntyre were very, very, very much on point in this match. For me, the MVP for the whole match was, it's gotta go to Seth Rollins. He's so good right now. He really upped the levels when he came into the match. You know, you had Roman who was stuck. You know, he got the crap kicked out of him. He finally tagged in Seth. Seth comes in, full amount of momentum. Both McIntyre and Dolph looks awesome. They look really good as a team, and I can't wait to see how they develop as singles competitors once this is all done with. But my God, they are a very good tag team right now. They literally start getting more momentum, start knocking Seth back. It looks like Seth has to tag in Roman Reigns, but before he can, the Revival jump in, take out Roman Reigns. This ends the match in disqualification. Seth and Roman win, and it pretty much means the Revival and Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre destroy both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. It's really good. It's for me the best one out of all the matches we will see tonight. So I'm going to give this a solid 6 out of 10. Actually, no, screw it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Seth Rollins and Dolph and McIntyre just added that extra level. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Entertaining. Next up, we did have Baron Corbin come out and demand an apology from Finn Balor for what happened last week with them. For me, this was brilliant. It's building up a feud between Baron Corbin and, you know, Finn Balor. Does anyone want to see that? No, but I've got to say the promo was good. It's simple stuff from both Finn and Baron Corbin. They started smacking the crap out of each other afterwards. It's a simple, like I say, it's very simple stuff which they're doing, but it's building up feuds which you can see it's got to lead into somewhere at the end. Maybe Extreme Rules kickoff show, most likely. But yeah, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. It was nothing really to remember, but it's building up a feud which could be interesting to see. Next up, we had Liv Morgan versus Ember Moon. It pretty much, how can I describe this? Liv Morgan lost quite simply. It was a very quick women's match on Raw. Again, like, it just feels like the women's division is very, very shallow right now on Raw. Ruby Riott couldn't be there because she got injured at a house show at the weekend. So it was just Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. They were having a bit of rioting while Ruby Riott wasn't there. Ember Moon won. It makes sense. Ember's the most, high-rising superstar in the women's division. It makes sense she needs to get all the wins she can possibly get for a future title shot. But yeah, it was very, 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 very dull in my opinion. I remember the match. That's how dull it was. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Just because I feel sorry for Ember Moon, because she is a very talented wrestler. I just don't think it worked as well as WWE. I'm hoping it's working with the Riot Squad. This moves us on to the second of the Roman Reigns tag team matches, and he was teaming up with Bobby Lashley this time to take on the Revival. And now he had extra reasons to take on the Revival. Now, before that, Bobby Lashley talked to Roman Reigns backstage before his Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre match and said, look, you're being stupid, you're being hot-headed, you're taking on too many matches, you need to stop. You know, if you get injured at the Dolph Ziggler McIntyre match, which he did, then that means I have to carry the match. And that's just stupid. Why are you going into 2 tag team matches, when you know you already had a match tonight? Roman just goes, look, Bob, I don't care, all this lot, it's my yard, blah 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 blah. And he pretty much stated, look, I'll start the match, I'll end the match, I don't care. You can just stand there and get the W. And that's what happened. Roman was only one who was in the match. The Revival beat the absolute living crap out of him. They got disqualified again because they didn't stop pounding the crap out of Roman Reigns. Bobby Lashley just walked away like, I can't believe this guy. He wouldn't even tag in. He wanted to start the match. He wouldn't even tag out to, you know, help himself. What's the point? Goes over to Kurt Angle, says he wants a match with Roman. Roman goes backstage, says he wants a match with Bobby. Kurt Angle agrees. We're going to have Bobby Lashley versus Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules. That's fine. It's probably going to be the main event because this is WWE and it's Roman Reigns. But the match itself, again, I've got to lower the score because it wasn't really anything. It's just feeding up Roman Reigns' time on Raw. So I've got to give it a 4 out of 10. Next up, we had what was supposed to be a rematch with No Way Jose versus Mojo Rawley. Didn't happen. It turned into a brawl outside the ring. Again, it's so. Is it just me, or is it like they're forcing this rivalry which no one's really asked for? It could become good. It possibly could. But for me right now, it just feels like it's 2 mid-carders who have nothing going on, who have been pushed into this rivalry. What's next? Hopefully something good will come from it. I doubt it, but I want to see No Way Jose win this one because I like No Way Jose. He's more interesting than Mojo. Mojo's boring. Mojo is very boring. He's a very boring wrestler. So, I give it a 3 out of 10. Next up, we had Nia Jax versus Mickie James, and Nia Jax and Mickie. Pretty much, it started off with Mickie James and Alexa Bliss cutting a promo on Nia Jax. Nia Jax comes out, she says she's not alone, and surprise, surprise, Natalya's with her. Yay, brilliant. It's pretty much, if you remember when Nia was chasing after Alexa for the title and before WrestleMania, it's the same type of matches. It's exactly the same type of matches. We've seen this constantly for the last few months. It's nothing different. Well, we can't have Alexa versus Nia right now, we'll just put Mickie James in this match. Well, we can't have Alexa versus Nia Jax right now, we'll have Natalya versus Alexa Bliss. It's the same thing we have seen over and over again in the Raw women's title scene. So for me, I'm giving this a 3 out of 10 because I've seen it before, WWE. You're not giving us time to, forget about these type of matches going, oh yeah, I haven't seen this matchup before in some time. No, it's every single month now when it's Nia Jax or Alexa Bliss going for the title. It's their friends getting involved as well. It's boring. It's same old. Nia Jax got the win. Surprise, surprise. No one, not any fan was cheering at that. You could tell the fans were just like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. I'm very sure I've seen this before. This moves us on to our main event of the night, and it was Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens. Now, throughout the night, Kevin Owens was trying to hide from Braun Strowman. He does not want to fight Braun Strowman. And I can't blame him. He tries to be friends with Braun. Braun doesn't want to do that. He tag teams with Braun. Braun destroys his car. Kevin Owens does nothing wrong in this segment. It's literally Kevin Owens just going, I don't want to be round Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman looks at me like I'm going to be bacon and he's going to eat me. Goes to Kurt, begging Kurt that he doesn't want to take the match. Kurt goes, no, in Raw, we settle everything in the ring. And Kevin Owens at his best goes, hold on, you just sent Bayley and Sasha Banks to counselling. That is not true. Absolutely brilliant. Like, this is great. Great smart heel. Just going, no, Kurt, you're lying. I know exactly where this is going. They start the match. KO tries to have a match with him. For 30 seconds and goes, you know what, screw this, I'm going. Runs backstage, gets to his car, can't get into his car because he's left his keys back in the stadium, and he's like, oh, hides in a what is it called now? Gets trapped in a those porta potties. Hides as much as he could. Braun taps on the door. Is anyone in there? Just go away. Braun traps him in there, drags him back to the arena, and chucks him off the stage. Kevin Owens is severely hurt. It's a funny segment. Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman have great chemistry. But right now, this is the best way to turn Kevin Owens' face if Braun Strowman is constantly bullying him. Because it wasn't a match, it was just a jokey kind of Braun Strowman's torturing Kevin Owens segment. I've still got to give it a mark, I think. I've got to give it I'm going to give it a good 6 out of 10. Because I found it entertaining. Kevin Owens was entertaining. Braun Strowman is entertaining. And you can tell they're having fun with doing what they're doing right now. But yeah, it was a good main event. It was a good way to end the show in my eyes. And there you go, guys. That was Raw for this week. What did I think? I think it was very much similar to what we've been seeing for the last few weeks. It's nothing new, nothing exciting, and it's very heavy on Roman Reigns. Now, if you're not a Roman Reigns fan, you're not going to enjoy it. You're just going to be, oh, right, it's Roman's in this opening segment, Roman's in this match, Roman's in that match. Do we actually care? No, a lot of fans don't really care right now. We want to see more Braun Strowman's and Kevin Owens segments. We want to see more Seth Rollins segments. But right now, it felt like every match we've seen either last week or the week before or for the last few months continuously happening. So, for me, I'm going to give this Raw a 4 out of 10. It was lower than average. It definitely was one of the poorer Raw episodes in some time. The Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman stuff is the most entertaining thing on Raw this week, and you can tell that because WWE are highlighting it on all their social media segments on Twitter, Facebook, and everything. They just literally bombard you with that segment, and everything else was kind of forgotten about. And there you go, guys. What did you think, though, of this week's episode of Raw? Leave it in the comments below. And if you do like the videos, please like and subscribe and press the notification button so you can keep up with our videos. And if you want to follow the channel itself, you can do. It's at Smack Talk YouTube. That's YouTube. And I will see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.